Fasman.
Sorry, mate. Just
No, that's okay.
I've got no idea where reception is, where it's not. So I've had
That's
to come on the roof.
okay.
Got no furniture, no
worries.
nothing.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. You've got Nick and myself here, but you've also got quite a few keen young cricketers to learn a little bit more about the Icon brand and how to go about selecting bats and potential sponsorships and stuff like that. So
Cool.
appreciate you spending a bit of time with us just to learn a little bit more about it. I guess from our perspective, we'd really love for the kids to hear a little bit of a history or a story on how Icon started and how it got to being a global brand as it is now, with sponsored players and stores in England and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, the whole journey has been a bit of a I suppose, whirlwind and stuff when you have a think about it. Obviously, Joel, firsthand, you're with us for a while, so more, I suppose, in-depth story of the whole thing. And started a little cricket shop in Carrum Downs, and I suppose it's grown to where it is today. And that's with a lot of hard work. It's not just myself; it's all our staff that have been with us before, and staff that are with us now, and any staff, I suppose, in the future. And the whole mantra has always been get the best quality cricket gear at the best, I suppose, price for the public. Yeah.
And how many shops and everything do you have now? Like you obviously have your online store, but you have a heap of shops right around Australia now and franchises, don't you?
Yeah. So as I suppose, short answer will be 11. We've got 11 stores now. That's in different states. Some are mobile based and some are actual stores. We've got 9 physical stores. We've got 11 franchises now. As far as the franchise stuff goes, it's really helped us because the people that own the stores, I suppose, they've got a lot more ownership as opposed to someone working for you. Yeah. That's been really good. And the one common thing that all our franchises do have is they're all passionate about cricket. Yeah. So we've got 11 stores, and I think it's 4 different countries, 4 countries. So at the moment, we've only just hit the USA. And cricket in USA is a lot bigger than I thought. So as far as the business goes for us, we've only just, I suppose, hit the. I suppose we're right at the start. We've built a pretty solid foundation now, and it's up to us, I suppose, where we go from here. Yeah,
great to hear. And it's pretty cool. Like, I think the other part of this, the reason why we wanted to get you on, obviously, is to learn a little bit more about, choosing bats and the ins and outs, and maybe some myths that people say.
The fun stuff. Stuff.
But also, you actually have created a career out of cricket, and you're not a professional cricketer. A lot of kids obviously have those aspirations, and it's awesome to have them. Everyone wanted to play for Australia, wants to play professionally, but there's so many different opportunities nowadays that you actually have to be able to make a career out of the sport that you love, not just to play, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, the number one thing that comes is obviously passion. I've always been passionate about cricket ever since I came to Australia, and even before that. That's the one common theme, is if you've got passion in what you do, it's pretty important. I'm not a big believer in whatever you do in life has to be fun. I mean, the end result have to be fun. I mean, looking at the bats and stuff is the fun bit. After sales and stuff, not always the fun stuff. So I take to my business a bit more of a thing is, if you want to look fit and get fit and stuff, and going to the gym is not the fun bit, but the end result is the fun bit, that I suppose when you got a good body and you're more mentally stable. So I suppose in business, our mantra has always been be passionate about what you do. And luckily for me, whether luck or destiny or whatever it is, been lucky enough to do what I enjoy every single day. And it still to this day doesn't feel like you're getting out of bed, you're actually going to work. So it's a pretty surreal experience, I suppose. Yeah, awesome.
Well, I guess, like we said, it's, the bats industry, I guess, there's heaps of different brands and stuff like that. And obviously there's different levels of gear, but we find that a lot of people make mistakes when trying to select a bat, and whether that be a prejudice because player one has it, or that they like the look of the stickers or whatever. What are some bits of advice that you would give to players who are looking to select a bat for them to be able to use the best?
I actually came a little bit prepared, so I brought a couple of bats here.
Oh, nice.
Stable the phone here as much as I can.
Yeah.
Now, let me know at any stage if you can't hear me at all.
That's okay.
Okay, so I'll just grab a couple of bats. So, I suppose being in the industry and stuff for a while, as you know, we always used to do this in the store and stuff.
Bat flick, yeah.
The bat flick and stuff, I can generally tell if a bat's going to ping before, or even look at the grains or anything. I personally just go by the shape of it, what the actual shape is. I personally like a really, really full middle. There's a few downsides that come with obviously the full. The weight goes up a little bit, but generally, for myself personally, I like a really nice full in here, which means the meat's not taken out of there. With the bats, what you realise is from here till there, all the bats are mostly the same because you've got the same amount of wood, pending wood quality. And then what happens is when you start hitting it off centre, that's when you can tell if the bat's good or not. And unfortunately, not being a professional cricketer and stuff, I don't always hit it straight at the middle. So I tend to use the whole thing sometimes at the top. So, yeah, and then for myself personally, I sacrifice a little bit of wood in there, knowing that I'm not going to get as much there. That's the sacrifice that I like to make. I'm not going to get under the ball as much as I suppose I like, but sorry, I just received a phone call. That's the sacrifice I'll take. I mean, for a good cricketer, you shouldn't be hitting the ball too low anyway. So, and then I'll take it off there and put it more in here, which is the way we'd like to make all our bats. What that does, it makes the bat pick up a lot better as well. So, your 210s, that generally 211s even, they generally go to a getting killed with phone calls right now. Your 211s go to more like a 2.9 pickup and stuff, which obviously helps me personally. Yeah. The next thing is the handle shape. You got the round, you got the oval, and you got the semi-oval. I personally like it round because that's the way I've always used. But generally, what I find is you get a bit more control with the semi-oval. Almost sort of helps you grip the bat a bit more. So it goes like a semi-oval in here, and then goes into a round at the top. So 90% of our bats we like to make like that. And then personally, I like a skinny handle. Any young cricketer growing up, I would highly recommend for you not to use more than one grip, because you want to feel the bat so you can control it. You want to control the bat as opposed to the bat control you. So I find by having one grip, I'm in control of the bat the whole time. So there's not many professional cricketers, to be honest with you, that we sponsor. They use two grips. So
what about grain? I know that there's a debate. What's better? Is it close together or further apart? What are your thoughts on that, or number of grains?
With the grains, as a general rule of thumb, is they used to say back in the day and stuff. Pretty much every grain you had is the tree was 1 year old, and a lot of guys had 18, 19 grains back in the day. There wasn't a lot of cricket being played, which means they used to let the trees really grow and get old and stuff, and then obviously cut them and then make a bat out of them. The demand of today is we can't afford to. When I say we as an industry, we can't afford to let the tree go for 20 years because so many bats are bought, so much cricket's being played. There's T20 cricket, then now it's T10, and then who knows what the future will be. The guys used to hit pretty much front foot, back foot, pretty much straight face of the bat back in the day, and obviously cut shots and pull shots. Now the people are hitting 360, which means you're hitting a lot more balls. The training, even academies like yourselves, I'm not sure how many balls you make kids hit, but this all takes a lot of toll on the bat and stuff. So going back to your question as far as grains go, I like it between 8 to 10 grains. If I can get a little bit more, great. But generally, I would use it like even a 7 grain bat if the shape is there, if the wood is there in the back of it.
Yeah. And what's the difference? Bats now, the bigger brands, I think they're over $1,000 now. Is there much? Like you said at the start, you guys have tried to, keep bats affordable but still at a high quality. What is the difference between a $1,000 bat and say $1,000?
There is a lot of obviously marketing behind it. I was one when I was, I suppose, young and dumb, and I used to say, "It's overpriced this and that." But unfortunately, the whole cold hard reality is you've got to pay players especially top end players. You got to pay them to use your bats and stuff, and someone has to pay for it. Unfortunately, that's the brutal reality of it. You know, your $1,200 bat, if the sponsor players weren't getting paid, realistically, probably the brands would be selling for $800.
Yeah.
So a lot of it comes to marketing stuff, and I suppose put the question back on you, Nick, and stuff is, why do you buy a Nike shoe for $200 when you can get similar-ish for $60 without the tick on it?
Yeah.
So it comes down to branding stuff and where your brand sits in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So obviously from there, like you're saying, there's if you know, I guess, your way around the bat and everything like that, and as you're saying, those different weights and transferring the size of the bat in different areas, you could essentially try and find a bat that doesn't, like you say, have 18 grains, because you see so many kids or people going in, I need this, I need that, and have the ability to just be flexible, but it's more around the feel of it and I guess your price range as well, isn't it?
Spot on, Joel. And unfortunately, those are the kids that make it really hard for the industry, because you try to give them a good bat, and I've worked in the shop floor before, and you try to give them a good bat, you try to give them the service. Unfortunately, when someone comes with these specs, there's only one to be available and stuff, and that bat might be a dud, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. So, and then they can't come back and say, you know, it's like, I suppose, building a house and wanting your bathroom right at the top and when you're living right at the bottom and stuff, and you finish the product, and it comes shit, you don't go back to construction company and say, no, this is not good. So I suppose to any young kid is give the person at the shop floor, give them a chance to, I suppose, show you what would be suitable for you. Do your research first, but just don't be too demanding as far as the looks, aesthetics goes. Just do your research, and I'm all for, as long as you're not going asking for a one that size bat and 2.6, that's just unrealistic. Unfortunately, everything is like that. Is if you want a heavier bat, you're gonna get more size generally. Obviously, quality of willow comes into it. So if you're buying a top grade bat, generally your full shape shouldn't be over 2.9, 2.10 anyway. So you shouldn't be buying a 2.14 bat with this profile, which means the grade of the willow was lower, which means the willow was heavier to start with.
Mm-hmm. But those lower grade willows, you still have the opportunity. They are good bats, aren't they? You still get good batches and
100%.
Like that.
They're definitely good bats. So if you just go for the aesthetics, those bats that have got the 15 dead straight grains on them, generally that could be a grade 4.
Yeah.
So they're good bats. They're just heavier cleft, which means your size you can't guess. Your sheer power will generally come from the shape of it anyway. So if you want, so I mean, if it's got 15 grains on it, the cleft is heavier, we have to really take wood out of the back out, which means you're taking wood out of the engine of the car, I suppose.
Yeah. And what are some probably tips that you would give if little Johnny or Susie or whatever is going into a shop? Are there things that they can do while they're in the shop to sort of pick out what bats suit them? Is it, do you bat with have gloves on? Can you tap the ball on the bat? What are some things
probably the one thing is probably the weight thing, and Joel, we've had arguments about this in the store, is it used to be one we have to have prices, we have to have weights on there. I'm a big believer, don't have weights on the bat until you come down to your top 3 bats that you're going to purchase. The reason on our Icon Sports, we generally don't have weights on it because we don't want you to not buy that bat because of the label that it says. I want you to pick through it, because I've got bats that are 2.8 that pick up like 2.13 or 2.12, and I've got bats that are 2.13 that pick up like 2.9. So you really, really go that guy, but get some gloves on, do some actual shadow batting, and just don't start doing blocks and stuff and drives, because everyone can do it, and the bat's coming through. So generally, you would actually feel the bat is obviously on the up when you're pulling. So get your stance and try to get the bat as quick as you can. Because your drives and stuff, generally, your early innings, you're going to have more power. And as you're getting more fatigue, that's where the weight is really important. So don't go for something, especially young kid, don't go for something too heavy early, because the bat, you don't want the bat to control you. Lose a bit of power, lose a bit of, not lose, I suppose, sacrifice a bit of power. Because when I was, I suppose 15 years old, I could not clear the 40-yard circle or whatever it is, or 30-yard circle and stuff. But the one thing I did as a young age, just make sure my technique was sound. I would bat and bat and bat, and then by the time you're older, naturally you're going to hit the ball further and stuff because the power in your body comes in. So, but if you've got bad habits with a heavy bat at the start, unfortunately, it's really hard to fix.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, guys? I know a lot of families, with the balance. So they tend to now.
So, Nick, I've just lost a bit of reception there.
Yeah,
Go again for that.
Out there, Fitz.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you now.
Yeah, fine. So for the players on here, it can be balancing act. A lot of them want an expensive bat, so they buy for the future rather than
Yeah. I think I've got parts of that. I think what you're saying is, I suppose, as a young kid, you buy the next two size hoodies up. Hopefully they grow into it by the time they look shit because they're just baggy and stuff. So that's a really tough question because people's budgets, how much money they've got, it's probably the worst thing you can do. However, the parents have got to know their kid and how much they're going to go in the next 6 months to a year. You can't buy for 2 years on because, to be honest with you, you're going to wreck the kid's technique and you might as well not play cricket. So, fair enough. If you're buying in the off season, go the next size up because by the time the next season comes up, he's going to be naturally bigger, or he or she. But just don't try to buy for 2 years or 3 years because
so you're saying, like from your advice, you'd sacrifice the quality of the bat or the price of the bat because there's no use getting a high-end bat because they might not be able to use it properly anyway. So you'd rather go.
Generally, I mean, obviously this is pending on the age. We're talking a 16-year-old who's playing catch and playing all the representative cricket. I would say spend the money. The two most important things are your bat, your grip, and your gloves. Pads you get away with. I can wear whatever pads. How often do you get hit on pads?
Yeah.
Helmet's very obviously important for safety, but that's a story for another day. But as far as feel and the comfort, is your grip. Grip is probably one of the most important things, which is off question, is your grip that you use as well, and how often you change it. I understand there's people got budgets and stuff, but I would generally change my grip every 3-4 games. Amount of training and stuff you do, because how many times the bat slips in your hand and stuff like that in matches, and you lose your wicket. And people are worried about bat quality and gloves quality and stuff. Your grip on your cricket bat is one of the most important things.
Yeah, nice. We've got a few questions rolling in the Q&A, so I'll pop them out to you. Rowan Hander has asked, hi Faisal, he's from England. Who does the cricket stickers for your Icon gear? Like, is there someone behind it? Do you have a designer? How do you go about that?
We've got our own internal designer that does work for us, and the designs can take, to be honest, 12 to 15 months. We tinker with it, what range we're going to go with, what colours are good, what sort of feedback we've had, and all that. But so we've got our own internal designer that has done it probably after the first 2 years that we started, or even after the first year. So he's done it ever since.
Yeah, very nice. We've answered that one. Lighter, there's a lot of lighter or heavier bats questions, but as we've spoken about, it's up to the feel and what you're sort of trying to get out of that.
Yeah. Obviously, with a lighter and heavy, I'll just go back to it. It also sees what your actual style is, the way you play. Do you hit over the top? Do you don't? Like, I suppose I'm talking more for adults and stuff. Once you know your game, for a young kid, generally you're trying to keep it down. There's not many kids that are 12 years old trying to hit over mid-off. I would assume every single ball if it's up and stuff. So really, really concentrate on your technique at the start.
And that's what you're saying. It's harder for you to be able to develop a solid technique if the bat's too heavy for you. So it's really, really important.
And this is what I got taught as a young age: is your shots that you hit through the air, like it's just an extension of your shot anyway. From your block, it goes. Obviously, you hit it with different timing and stuff. But if your foundation is not good, how are you supposed to get to 25 years old and you've got this power now? And this is why a lot of guys in cricket get in 15, 20s, because they've got this power now. They'll get away with it a few times because they haven't got the foundation. They get found out and make it 15, 20s. There's a reason why guys in Premier Cricket are not going out. The pitch is good. They just don't go out. So they've got the foundation.
Absolutely. Another guy asked, how did you come up with the name Icon?
This is obviously right at the start. I wanted something memorable. I wanted something 4 words for some reason, I don't ask you why I wanted 4 words, but I just wanted something nice and short that is going to scream quality, and people will remember it without having to think about,
Yeah.
I suppose,
just an easy name.
It's just easy name to remember.
Yeah. I like it. Dylan Furnell has asked, how should he go about picking bats when the cricketing range isn't very good? He lives in Townsville, so far, like North Queensland, and they don't have many or any cricket stores there where they can try it here. So what would just sort of give him feedback? Is he worth trying online and stuff, or?
Yeah. Online's obviously hard. I would say before you buy online, maybe leave a comment or something, someone give you a call back so they can discuss what you want. So I'm just going to finish this minute. Nabil, if you want to bring him up, bring him here. I just can't hold it. Sorry. I've just got a little boy. I just want to bring him on. So he's got a good cricketer. Ambidextrous.
Already got the skill.
Yeah, so I suppose answer to your question is luckily we're just in time now. Simon Bilenko, who plays for Hurricanes as well, so he's going to have a store soonish as well, which should be in Queensland. I'm not too familiar with Queensland, so
it's about 20 hours north of Brisbane, mate.
Yeah, perfect. So you might as well come to Melbourne. I suppose online is your option at the moment. Just make sure you speak to someone before, or if you do make the purchase, put on the comment section. Please call me, so I want to discuss what sort of bat I want.
Yeah, and all online shops should be like that, shouldn't they? If they're trying to sell online, that any shop or any bank.
Yeah. I mean, our online presence is huge at the moment, but it's just a matter of, I suppose, if you want us to call you back, just don't have ridiculous demands like, I want 18 grains, I want this shape, I want this, I want that, because we've got 400 bats sitting in the back and stuff. Unfortunately, we might not have the demand that you want. So, say hi.
Upset. Next point we'll go on. We'll finish off with this part of it. It's Laura has asked about how you can get sponsorship with Icon, but I wanted to have a chat, not just an Icon thing, but what do cricket brands look for in sponsorships and things like that?
In players?
Yeah.
I can't talk for every other brand. Sorry, let me just get the bat before he breaks it. I can't talk for every other brand. I suppose our brand, we're a bit of a unique situation. We're a little bit different. Where what we look for is, it's very hard for young kids, to be honest with you. You've got to be ridiculously good. Generally, without being rude about it, if you're good enough, you'll be noticed beforehand. Yeah. So the brands will come up to you. I don't want to be rude about it. Till then, pay like everyone else does. You might get a discount. You might be on a partial sponsorship. Pay like everyone else does. And unfortunately, youth of today, the way it is it's I suppose I deserve this generation. So you'll end up getting free, and then by the end of it, unfortunately, I don't sponsor any kids anymore, because you just don't know what their future holds. Because some kids are, I suppose, starstruck when the other brands do come through. So our brand is, why should we sponsor you till you're 16, 17, and you leave us, go somewhere else? Yeah. Because you might think these other brands might give you stuff, and so for us, we go for the established players that have been through the rounds and have been through the loop and stuff. Is where your Jimmy Pearson, very good cricketers, obviously, Simon Milenko, John Wells, like even Darcy and stuff. He's been with us obviously for a while. These guys are cricketers who haven't been happy with the service they've received previously. Yes, these guys can all go and get way more money than what we offer and what we give, or if we give any, or whatever it is. But the reason why these guys stay is obviously business opportunity is one, and also the relationship that we create as a brand, and they really feel part of it.
I guess from that perspective, like you're saying, the kids have to think about, obviously that's not free for the business either. So if getting a sponsorship, they have to see some sort of return on investment for a player. So if they're under a certain age group, or they're not playing on TV or anything like that, it makes it hard. So I guess, as you said, in summary, it's more about
even TV, Joel. Even TV sometimes not a big thing. The kids and stuff, and anyone's got to understand is, okay, so if I use this cricket bat, who else will buy it? That's what it's going to come down to. You're marketable, and unfortunately, if you're 13 years old, you're not marketable. That's the cold hard reality of it. Yes, you can probably sell a couple to your mate, or your mate gets onto it. Unfortunately, it just doesn't give us enough coverage for us to,
Yeah, nice. And that we've spoken about that with TID and everything like that. It's just you got to keep going, keep scoring runs, keep taking wickets, performing, and eventually those sorts of things, they just come naturally.
I would say the advice I would give is come on board with us or whoever, build your brand loyalty, pay for your gear for the first year, and if you're good enough, then you can start from there. You know, we've had kids we've given free gear to before because they build their loyalty, they bought gear, and they're good people, their parents are good people, and we know, you know what, you might not play for Australia, but you're actually a good person, and we actually want to be behind you. So the people that are, I suppose, financially struggling as well, you know, you might not play for Australia, Victoria, but you're a good person. So, more than happy to help out in that sense.
Yeah,
awesome. Do you want a ball?
All right. Well, apart from that, that's sort of basically everything from my perspective. Nick, have you got anything else here, or?
Branding and sponsorship and things like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks again, mate. Really do appreciate it. As we said, you know, we love the relationship with Icon. We've been together for a very long time. Clothing and everything like that. There's opportunities for clubs to get involved and things like that with their own apparel and all sorts of stuff. So if anyone's looking for any clothing or cricket gear, you know, we obviously have a really good relationship with Icon, and they've helped us build the business to where we are now, and we appreciate it. And we appreciate your time, Faz, and, you know, imparting your knowledge on bats and everything like that for the young kids. So hopefully they're not making a mistake when they go and buy a bat that's too big or too heavy for them or too expensive for them now.
No problem at all. Appreciate your time, guys. Thanks for listening, and
thanks for jumping.
let me know if there's I'd love to come on board whenever you guys need me.
Perfect. Thanks, mate.
No worries. Thanks, guys. See ya. Bye. I better get some chairs.